right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture just to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, you see it, you see it. We are about to review episode 5 and 6 of our show, Young, Famous, and African. If you like what you see, please hit that thumbs up button. Please hit that like button. Also, please subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll be open up. Excuse me, y'all. You'll be open up to a plethora. This mic is so sensitive, so I have to be very careful with it. You're open up to a plethora of videos and movies that I have reviewed. I have several playlists of things that I review. This is one of the shows that I do review, and it's Young, Famous, and African. And we are reviewing episodes 5 and 6 entitled Showdown and Oh Baby. Now, I admit I had to go back and watch these two episodes because my first initial thing was to do 5 through 9. But then I realized that I needed to set some things up, and I don't want to talk about every point in these two episodes, but there are a few things that I believe that I need to mention. And if I had done, the whole series to the finality at this point, I would have missed some key points. And I don't want to miss some key points again, because when I do these reviews and reactions, it's more than just telling you play by play what happened. I also want to put a little twist on information. This is my headpiece, and I had it on, and it didn't make the earphones fit right, so I just threw it down to my neck. So if anybody was wondering, no, I have no fashion statement to be making here. It's just a level of convenience. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. So we are coming off of the aftermath of Bonang blowing the hell up at Swanky's little outdoor garden board. Uh, I could not clearly understand why she was so upset about this particular story. It was mind-boggling to me to understand. I'm moving my mic, so if you hear a little back noise, that's what's going on. It was mind-boggling to me that she blew up the way she did. Also, which was mind-boggling to me was the way Swanky responded to her blowing up. It's almost like he co-signed with it. It didn't make any sense. It was putting 20 on 10. That's the best way that I can do it. It was putting 20 on 10 because someone is apologizing to you for not treating you as professionally as you should have been treated. Is a sense of someone giving you your flowers. And he's apologizing in person. I don't know if he apologized. Sit down. I don't know if he apologized at the time or he had the opportunity to apologize at the time, but he was apologizing nonetheless. And for you to take it from there and then act like, try to pull a Mariah Carey, I don't know you, was so unnecessary. Just even for me, and I'm just speaking for myself, someone is apologizing for something that I clearly don't remember. I'm gonna let him apologize, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, listen, let's let bygones be bygones, and let's move forward from here. I appreciate you apologizing to me for an error that you made. Hey, we are all human. We make mistakes. We make errors. Everything is cool. Bam. That's the end of it. I could have gone and said, well, he apologized. I don't remember the event exactly. I don't remember it. But hey, I appreciate the fact that he did come and he apologized. Not to go over some mess about, oh, well, you are Stan and you just, that was so unnecessary. And it was so unnecessary for Swanky to co sign it. So during this episode, I do appreciate Zari for going to check on Lewis because she was confused about what was going on. And Lewis' story hasn't changed. And Zari noticed that. So she was like, okay, Bonang is showing out because if he's saying the same thing over and over again and his story hasn't changed, it really doesn't make any sense as to why she would blow up. So Zari, let him know that, hey, not everybody in the group basically acts like this. Just want you to continue to keep going. So uh, Kylie and Naked DJ, I'm just convinced that they've been demoted to friends of the show because I mean they're just I'm confused at this point about what they're doing and what their role is, and maybe they'll have something bigger coming along the pipe. But uh, mm, anyway, let's just keep going. They host I guess it's a polo party, and that would be in comparison to like when people go to the Kentucky Derby. You know how they dress up and in their fascinators and their cute little hats and their beautiful pastel clothing. Uh, this is what that's that's the same level. If you were looking at to juxtapose it to something here in America, that's what I saw it to be. So they're going to and they're having I don't know if they called it a tea party. I don't remember what it was, but it was a party. It was a get together during the event at this polo club, and so all the characters are there, save Bonang. She doesn't show up. Let me see. So they're there, and Lewis talks about what happened, and then let me see. I might be missing something. No, no, no. I am missing something because the tea party was between Kaja, Kaji, Nadia, and Lewis. So he explains what happened. And I love the fact that Nadia told him, she says, listen, I don't think if you're a bad guy, but the person who you owe an apology to would be Fatina, because the way you said it, that you want people to know you for your music, because there was it's if I probably reviewed it in the third and the fourth one, but there was a situation at that point where Lewis told Fatina, she was talking about Diamond and her being with Diamond. Basically, it came off like you don't want people to know you as a whore. You want people to know your music. And that's basically what he was trying to say. But he didn't say it in a way that was palatable for her to hear it. And that's what Nadia was trying to explain to him, that you had good intentions, but it's just the way it came off. I need for you to understand it sounds like you were slut shaming her or who she is. You could have just said something like, be careful about your relationships and being in these types of things. There was just a way to say it, and he doesn't have the experience to know how to say those things. He talked about what happened, and Kaji made an excellent point. She's like, I am surprised at Swanky because Swanky is the host, and Swanky was supposed to dial everything down. He's the host, and you're not supposed to just let your guests just run amok. But she made a point. She says, uh, Swanky is holding on to Bonang because he needs a new BFF because him and Annie have fallen out. So Bonang is the next best choice for that. So since he's trying to hold on to a BFF, he is his logic is not there. I hope I'm making sense. So in other words, he wants to find a new friend, and so he is in the market for a new friend, and so therefore Bonang has met the criteria, and so he's trying to make sure that Bonang knows that he is there for her, but he's got so many other deeper issues with his old BFF that he has not resolved. And so that was something that people had talked about we need to do. I want to tell you too, as I'm doing this review, I am going to be mixing in season five and season five, episode 5 and episode 6. So I'm reviewing both of those episodes, but I'm not going in any order. I just look at them as like this one, because you have to watch 2 episodes at a time to get a clear picture of what's going on. And that is, if I have a criticism about this series, is the editing. Because the way they edit stuff they keep so much stuff out that is difficult to follow, and they also splice it in a way that you can't tell how much time has passed. Is it the day after? Because some things that you think are going on that's the day after is actually weeks later. And things that you think are weeks later happen the day after. Because when you see this series, they have gone to so many parties and so many things that this is the difference from last season, is because last season we got this, they broke everybody up. So we got to see pairs of this and pairs of that, the guys versus the girls. So we got to see a lot of the subgroup within the whole group. This time, it's just like all the drama happens in a group. So it's like we don't see any sub groups. Like we've seen like Swanky and Nadia, or Swanky and Kaja, or we've seen Lewis, and we've seen some of it, but it just seems like it's in response to whatever blew up. Whereas last season, things were building. You started seeing relationships and things like that building. Uh, and that's, I know this is a reality show, but I also know producers uh, tweak it so that it'll make sense. And I'm just saying that the way this has been edited and the way that it has been cut, it does not make any sense. Uh, it's not it's not clear cut. My other thing that's off the topic, but about the show is, have we noticed that Kaji is wearing gloves? And everywhere you see her, she's got her Michael Jackson on. But she has it on two hands. She's wearing gloves. Uh, for me, and I also noticed too that she is more in her, or getting, seem to be getting closer to her complexion. So I'm wondering if she's still doing those IV drips as often as she has been, because I know that when she was in South Africa, she did her IV drips um, quite frequently enough that, to the point where her skin looked transparent, not translucent. That you could see through her skin, and you could you could almost see the blood running through the skin. But it seems like she has pulled back, and once she's pulled back, it seems like she has gotten darker. And probably what's happening is that around her knuckles, around her hands, are much more darker than the rest of her complexion. But she's still wearing that really light makeup that she had when she was much lighter. So you can kind of tell it from, because she has, I guess when I look right here, she's more red. She has like a reddish undertone, but the makeup that she's using has like a yellowish tint to it. So I just noticed that. But I noticed the gloves, and I noticed that she was losing the gloves. And I was just thinking, I know she's not eating all the time. She's not taking the gloves off. She's doing everything with the gloves. She's not taking the gloves off to eat. And I'm wondering, is it because the her complexion is different on her hands? But back into the show. Uh, we were talking about the tea party. So Lewis then asked Kaji to talk with Zari to see if he could talk about surrogacy. Zari says, Lewis, are you okay? I'm checking on you. And now all of a sudden you're talking about surrogacy? Huh. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. They have a little blowout at the polo group. Uh, and Swanky again. Swanky is jumping on Lewis, and then Fatima, she jumps in, and she's upset with Zari. So here's my problem with this. And this is the big problem. Fatima is mad at Zari because Diamond done pillow talk some stuff. Diamond done pillow talk some stuff and told Fatima. And because Fatima is too young to understand that uh, Diamond is just basically saying what he needs to say so that he can get into your pants. And this is what I tell about women. And this is again, we learn lessons when we watch these shows. Men want what they want. And if they feel that they have to make you here better than the last woman that they had, then they will. And this is so much so that Fatima done put a battery in her back and basically has told her some things in confidence that that Zari thought was in confidence, or some feelings that he's had about Zari. And he's told her all in an instance to get into your pants. But remember, you were about that life a couple episodes ago. So you were about that life that you can have sex with them and not get caught up and get your feelings tied up. But that's what you say. But you are truly are not about that life, Fatima. You are not about that life, because you have sat there and allowed this man to say things about his baby mama to you that they'll put a battery in your back. And now you feel like you have to defend him to her. You don't have to do anything like that. You ought to know. Just because you like him and you see him responding to her in a certain way, then you have to question yourself. Is this something that I want to be part of? Because it's going to continue to happen. Excuse me, y'all. It's going to continue to happen whether he's dating you or not. So I'm just wanting to say to the young ladies, if you are about that life, if you can sex him and leave him, then sex him and leave him. Don't say you're about that life and then you let your feelings get involved. If at any point your feelings get involved, you are not about that life. So stop it. Stop going out here trying to act like you can be out here and have sex with all of these people and do all of these things. But every time you turn around, you're in the middle of chaos because you're causing confusion and chaos with the people that he has had sex with before. You're not about that life. You're not built for that life. Anybody who's built for that life, they don't have these kind of conflicts with the women that a man has had sex with before, because they know that's what it is. It's sex. Move on. Off my soapbox. Let me see. We got a little bit more of Andili's backstory. Andili wants to be loved. What's his name? Diamond had a conversation with Andili about him dating Zari. And remember, I told you my last review that it comes from the fact that Andili didn't talk with him before he had made that move. But in all honesty, they are not even talking. They have they're attracted to each other, but they hadn't really had a conversation or had anything talk. They're just attracted to each other. So this is I'm just confused. I'm not confused. It's stupid. There's no confusion. It's just stupid. If they're not talking, then they're not talking. There shouldn't be this big blow up about it. But I guess maybe we as the fans needed some sort of conclusion about that. And so this is what we have. And so Andili is at the point in his life where he wants to be in love. He wants to settle down. He wants to have that type of thing. However, Andili has had the opportunity to have that twice in his life. And at the time, he wasn't ready, but because he's had those two relationships, it has produced children. So I'm calling her Seb. It's Sebi and Rosalie. Sebata. I think that's what her name is. And Rosalie, I think he has. I think he loves her, but she doesn't feel that he loves her. She's comfortable. That's the thing. I think he's very comfortable with Sabata. I think he's very comfortable with her. She gives him comfortable vibes. But in all fairness to her, she loves him. She wants a relationship with him. But she doesn't want him if he doesn't want her back. She doesn't want to be that comfortable person with him, because she knows that Rosalie is out here and will be causing confusion and stuff like that. Because the way I have pinned Rosalie was in love with Ndile. That relationship did not work out. I think Rosalie had gone on to another relationship, but she was actually still in love with Ndile. And the most Rosalie knows that she can get out of Ndile is that they become friends and she has clasped onto that as a quasi relationship because she is just not, either she's not willing or she's afraid to move on. And so she uses that friendship against Sabata. And Sabata doesn't care about the fact that they're friends. She just doesn't like how Rosalie tries to insert herself in their relationship. Um, but I would tell Sabata that that is Andili's fault. And you shouldn't be fussing with Rosalie up to a point. You need to be letting him know. And I think that there should have been like a group conversation. And then once it hit to a certain level, that was it. That was it. And Dili, whether he wants to say it or not, I can look at the expression on his face. He enjoys it. He enjoys it. He enjoys it to the point that him and Dili and Swanky basically sabotaged Zari's birthday. And I felt some kind of way about that. Y'all, there was no reason in the world, and Dilly should have come to that birthday party by himself. He should have come to that birthday party by himself. There was no reason to have both those women there at that birthday party. Now, it's interesting that they brought them within the group simply because last season everybody was like, "Oh, there's some pretty women. We really want to know about them." But I think and Dilly bringing those two to Zari's birthday party instead of them having like a side story someplace else. I thought that that was just in poor taste. I really do. Swanky taking shots at Lewis at the birthday party. I thought that that was in poor taste. At the beginning of episode 6, they have like a gin party, and this is where Swanky reveals that Bonang has decided that she no longer wants to be part of the WhatsApp group, which basically means that she no longer wants to be part of the show. And he wants to make sure that uh, the group knows that it's their fault that his new BFF can't be part of the group. He puts it across that way. And I think he was thinking that they were going to say one thing. And baby, if Zari wasn't going off on him and Kaji was going off on him and Nadia was going off on him, and then he tried to make it seem like it was that the final straw that broke the camel back was Lewis, and he tried to go back and forth and all this other stuff. And then it was made aware because Kaji went to go talk with Zari about Lewis wanting to be a surrogate, and it didn't come out the right way. Kaji didn't bring it to her the right way. Lewis wanted to talk to Zari about surrogacy because, again, you remember when I talked about earlier how Fatina brought out some information that Zari wanted to have another baby with Diamond. See, that's that pillow talking. There was no reason to bring that up. And so Lewis was like, oh, she's interested in surrogacy. I've been interested in wanting to be a father. Maybe I can talk with her about the process because we don't have that process in Namibia. And you see what I'm saying? You see how Fatima, you're not about that life. And so you're mad at her from what Diamond told you. And you ain't got no reason really being mad at her. But honey, you are P.O. at Zari again for some pillow talk crap. And I don't like that. I don't like that. So the gin party blows up. We also see that the Zari's party blows up uh, because of Swanky going after Lewis and Dilly's two baby moms are going at it with each other. So that's basically what I'm going to say that these 2 episodes were about. They brought out that thing. And Dilly had to make a decision to talk to both of them about where he stands and what he wants. Let's see. I don't think that we talked with Naked DJ because the only thing that Naked DJ was talking about within these 2 episodes is that Bonang is a friend of his as well, and he wanted to know what Lewis was going because now everybody seems is attacking Lewis. And one thing about Lewis is not fighting for himself. He's just like, oh, you misunderstand me. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna worry about it. But there's so much stuff swirling and so much inaccurate information that he is not taking that responsibility of making the information accurate. So that's my issue with Lewis. If Bonang don't want to be on there, that's fine. Because like I said, she she didn't really bring anything other than fussing. She didn't really bring too much. Uh, and like I said, the blow up between, her and Lewis was completely unnecessary because all you had to do was just say, okay. But you wanted to make it seem, you wanted to pull up Mariah Carey and act like you didn't know him or didn't remember anything. And like I said, that was fine. But if he decided to apologize to you, then just take the apologies and move on. All right, y'all. That's episode 5 and 6. There's probably so much more information that I could talk about. But like I said, these two episodes, they had a lot of drama, but it didn't have the that I needed from that drama. We didn't learn too much. We're still kind of circling. We don't know too much about Lewis. Uh, Swanky is cutting up to the point. Whoo, child. I almost missed the best drama. See, I always do this. Every time I get ready to sign off, then the best thing comes out. Baby Annie and Swanky met. Excuse me, y'all. Annie, see, I'm sorry, y'all, but Pam about to cuss. Annie was in her bullshit. And here's the thing, she really doesn't know why Swanky is mad at her. So she is making this assumption that whatever she got going on in her life, and her and Tubaba's life is just so much. And she's thinking that Swanky didn't want to be part of her brand, but he hadn't talked to her. So now we get to the instance where he sits down and he tells her what's the problem. Baby, let me tell you. He tried to tell her, and when I tell you that was a classic display of deflection, lying, and inability to listen and take accountability. That was a perfect display. And then she turned it all back around so that she's the victim in the whole situation. If you did not sit and see all of those transitions in that one interview, baby, that was a master class in it. When I tell you that was a master class in deflection, lying, uh, trying to make yourself the victim, hmm, that's what Annie did. And then I have said this several times. I don't care how loud you get because we as a people, and I see that it doesn't matter where we are or where we come from or how we grow up. We think that if we get loud with it, it's going to make it right. No, you're just trying to intimidate your opponent to bow down. But just because she was loud and making all of these things, because you could look at her face, you remember, because she never took her. That's the one thing about it. When you want to be truthful or you want to talk to somebody, and then this is another side note. If they have anything on like shades or anything like that, you ask them to take those things off. If they refuse to take those shades or anything off, honey, there's nothing you're going to be able to trust because the thing that you can look at somebody is look at their eyes. They know they're being shifty and they don't want you to see that they're being shifty. The same thing with Swanky. Uh, Y'all take them glasses off. You've noticed that when he wanted to be vulnerable, he'd take those glasses off. When he wanted to be shifty and shady, he keeps those glasses on because your eyes tell everything. But anyway, Swanky is trying to explain to her why she's mad. He's mad at her. And she goes on this, I mean, you just didn't talk to me. You wouldn't talk to me. And then you had everybody tell me things. And it was just like putting fire on a burning house. I can't believe that you would do me that way. He's trying to explain to you. It ain't what he heard. Because she heard, I talked with your management about that. And your management was going to you about it. And then you said some very disparaging things about me. Because he also mentioned the fact that, you remember, I think it was episode 3 where Annie went back to Nigeria because Tubaba was accused of being the father of another baby. And so he sent her a voice note to let her know that he was thinking about it. Well, she let everybody hear the voice note, and she framed it in a way that he was being petty and condescending and everything. But she admitted and she apologized. Annie apologized to the fact that, hey, she sent that message out because she was the one being petty, to let everybody hear it, because she wanted everybody to see that he was being fake and phony. But honey, when Swanky told her, I heard you say the things that you said because I was on the phone. That's when the deflection, because she realizes now, uh, she realized, oh, he actually knows what I said. Yeah, he knows because he heard it. And then she decides to shut everything down because, I mean, when she was deflecting and fussing and cussing it, you lied, you lied. I can't believe you lied. Once she heard that, and she realized that they were recording, but she understood that they were recording. She thought she was going to be able to go back and forth with this. Oh, Swanky didn't took my party, and she thought she was going to be able to go with that narrative until Swanky said, "You were on the phone." And one thing Swanky did that he did not do in subsequent episodes, he pulled out his phone. I think he recorded it. He says, I could go back and show you. He pulled out the phone, and as soon as Swanky pulled that phone out, all of a sudden, Swanky, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that message out. I don't mean for things to be like this between us. I'm so sorry. And Swanky accepted the apology, but he also said, of all the people who would hurt me, I never would have thought she would hurt me. And I guess she doesn't realize I know her. I know things about her that if it would come out into the public, people would side eye her because she tries to make this image like, oh my gosh, she is the quintessential actress and the quintessential this, but she got a lot of issues and problems going on. And he said, if I was to say all the things I know, basically it would destroy her. And he says, I know she's an actress. What she's pulling on me, as far as this quick apology, without saying or apologizing for what she did, just the fact that it had happened and maybe we should move on from this. Because of that, he's like, I never thought that she would pull an Annie on me. So he's used to seeing her do this with other people, but he never thought that she would do this. And also, she tried to son it. She tries like when she came in there the first time, that she's always called him Swanky. And when she walked in, hello, Jeremiah. Not using that boy government. Okay, Annie. But again, that's the episode. That's the 2 episodes, y'all. What did y'all think about these episodes? I am enjoying them. Now, I did say earlier the editing and how they are blending all of this stuff together. Uh, it's not blending right to me. But that has nothing to do with the participants of this reality show. That's just an producing and management and directing type situation that's going on there. But tell me what you thought about these 2 episodes. We are slowly getting down to the thing. Like I said, this is going to be content for me for another week or so, and I hope you all are enjoying these reviews. I think I do better reviewing 2 at a time because I look at the minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm over 30 minutes, but I realize that I'm reviewing 2 shows at a time, so I'm pretty much okay with that for right now. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments, what are you thinking about episodes 1 through 6 so far? How are you feeling about the show? How are you feeling about the new people? We will no longer be getting no more Bonang because she has decided to quit the show. Lewis is leaning on quitting the show as well. So what are you thinking about the new people? This grand opening, grand closing for Bonang. I thought she was going to hang in there. I thought we were going to definitely see some drama between her and Kaji. And isn't it interesting that Kaji is doing what Nadia did last year? Nadia was in and out of the country, doing some business. And it's the same thing with Kaji. She's back and forth to Dubai. So it's interesting. Tell me what y'all feel about this. Tell me what you think. All right. Leave it all down in the comments. Y'all, we do this every week. And it's always people. Bye bye.